Hello, how's it going? So last year in the USA, Arrow Video released the remake of Friday the 13th. It's the 2009 Friday the 13th movie. Pretty good movie, not too bad. And then this year they announced in both territories, the UK and the USA, these two also on the New Line Cinema side of things in the Friday the 13th franchise, and that is Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at both. I've sat down, I've watched Jason Goes to Hell on 4K. This review won't be featuring information on the special features. I need to sit down in my own time and consume them. But you'll get a review and a look at this release, as well as Jason X2, which I have a soft spot for, which is kind of a favourite in the franchise of mine. I don't rank it too high. It's one of the lower ranked in, my ranking, but I can have fun with it. It's silly, but it's fun. But yeah, I got all three now. So hopefully they'll do a UK release of this one. We're obviously going to get Freddy versus Jason at some point, maybe before the year's out or next year. All the ones that New Line Cinema put out. Obviously, I don't know whether Arrow will actually get the rights from Paramount to do the rest of the franchise at some point. Probably not, because Paramount put them out themselves. But anyway, got all three now. That's how they're looking. Really cool. There's the new ones, Jason X, Jason Goes to Hell, and then of course you got the remake, and we'll get Freddy versus Jason. I just know we will. Yeah, I heard a couple of people have struggled getting theirs on Instagram. A couple of guys were saying that they've had emails saying, one of them said I think his Jason Goes to Hell has been delayed, due to high demand, and this is from HMV. And then another was saying Arrow Films, who they ordered Jason X from, they're going to have to wait another 5 to 7 days because of high demand. So obviously these have sold quicker than Arrow assumed. But yeah, you'd think they'd make sure there's enough copies to fulfill the pre-orders. But there we go. But still fantastic looking releases. Let's dive in. Let's have a little talk about them, discuss them. I've sat down and watched both of them. Let's go. Just got done with the new Jason Goes to Hell 4K from Arrow Video. Yeah, I haven't watched this one for 5 years, since the 2020 Scream Factory set was released. So, it was a lot of fun getting back into it. I think I've changed my mind whether it's my least favourite Friday the 13th movie. I mean, I did a ranking, I think it was about a year ago, and I've always, I've always ranked this as the lowest in the series. This has been my least favourite. Mind you, I have only seen it about 3 or 4 times over the years. And I've never really had a soft spot for it or anything. But watching it today, fresh perspective, watching the new 4K set, it's gone up a little bit in my estimation. Yeah, it's fairly a bad Friday the 13th movie. There's not much Jason in that. Obviously, it goes into the whole body hopping narrative, basically Jason, it's this slug sort of manifestation of Jason that sort of is passed from person to person. It comes out of one person's mouth, they put it into another person's mouth, and then obviously that person will have Jason's spirit basically subsequently inside them, and have his strength, his abilities, and goes on a rampage. So you got all these different characters basically channeling Jason Voorhees. There is a little bit of Jason at the beginning. Obviously it builds up to a good sort of final 15 minutes. The climax is really good at the Voorhees house, and you have basically you do get Jason back in his original form for some slashing towards the end, which is always good to see. But there's some great kills in this film, even though there's not much actual Jason himself in the hockey mask on screen. There's some fantastic gore. For a gore hound, it's pretty damn good. I remember the kills being good because I watched the unrated cut on the Scream Factory Blu-ray quite a few years ago now, like I said, 5 years ago, and watching it in 4K, the kills are just even more glorious. Really does add a nice touch to them, because the transfer looked phenomenal. I thought I knew it was going to be a good one because I had the remake was a good one from Arrow, that edition, and I thought, yeah, these are going to be damn good, and I will give them a go. I did want to upgrade. Sort of the lovely packaging kind of did it for me as well. Being a big Friday the 13th fan, I thought, yeah, I'm keeping the Scream Factory set on Blu-ray, but I must get these 4Ks. It looks like they're releasing all the New Line Cinema films, ones that are on that one. I think Warner Brothers absorbed that company a while ago, because it's got Warner Brothers on the spine there, as you can see. And so we'll probably get Freddy versus Jason next. The UK could do with a version of the remake as well that the US got last year. I actually have that edition. It's a fantastic edition. But yeah, I haven't watched any special features yet. I'll be getting around to that. I don't think I'll cover those on this video. But yeah, the transfer is just superb. You know, really a grisly facelift for Jason in Jason Goes to Hell. And this is the most I've enjoyed the film. Maybe sometimes it's a fact of like, because it's a rewatch and I'm going, you know, I'm a little bit softer on it. When I first watch things, if they don't hold my attention or overly like interest me, then pretty much like, you know, I'll rate it badly. But watching this again, it's definitely gone up perhaps like a star in my opinion, because beforehand I would have rated this like 2 stars out of 5. Watching the 4K and actually having sort of like going in with a kind of like low expectations on a rewatch and having a fresh perspective, I would give this 3 stars. It's a fun Jason movie. Like I say, Jason Knight, a lot builds up towards the big climax at the Voorhees house. That's all good. Like when Jason actually, you know, when you actually see the iteration of Jason that you want to see, you know, him in all his glory in like his usual form. That's a fantastic moment in the film. Little bit of a spoiler here, but at the end obviously they build and set up towards the later Freddy versus Jason film, which came out in 2003. But at the end of the film, obviously Jason is defeated when he is impaled in his heart. He is sent to hell, and then obviously at the end Freddy's there's Jason's mask on the ground in the dust, sand, what have you, and Freddy's arm comes out. You know, you can see the red sweater. His hand comes out with the big claw and basically just ha ha ha, he's laughing, you know, Freddy Krueger style, you know, Robert Englund's laugh, and pulls the mask down to the ground. So fantastic finale, one of the best scenes in a Jason franchise, I think. Really like got people excited, I think, for like Freddy versus Jason. Although Jason X, which I'll be talking about soon, comes after this film, you know, is a good like prelude, that scene to Freddy versus Jason. And yeah, great transfer, looked really nice, crisp, sharp. Watched it on this OLED TV, this 50-inch. It looked absolutely stunning. Like I was, you know, at the beginning on this girl's jacket, I was thinking, wow, the colours look so like nice. And yeah, I'd say it's a good upgrade from the Blu-ray. I mean, the Blu-ray was cool, but like this is a good upgrade. Anyway, onto the sort of edition. This is the Amaray case. Excuse the glare. I just thought I'd have a bit of a different backdrop. That's a slip cover that comes on it. Same artwork, absolutely gorgeous, really thick quality. Like, well, not the thick, it's not quite Vinegar Syndrome levels of thickness, but you know, it's pretty sturdy, bit flimsy, but a nice sort of texture. You've got the same artwork style as the other ones that Arrow have released, like Jason X and the remake. You know, you've got like half the mask, you know, the mask there, and then another half looks really yeah, really eye-catching. Definitely gone for some great artwork here. And yeah, so it's 4K, obviously, presentation in Dolby Vision, HDR10 compatible, of both the theatrical and the unrated cut. I actually watched the unrated cut. That's still 90 minutes. I think even when I watched the Blu-ray on the Screen Factory set, I watched the unrated because it has some good gore scenes in there. But yeah, you know, like it's really good version of the unrated cut. It wasn't one of these kind of unrated cuts where they just insert like lower quality scene, you know, footage of video of the scenes, you know, because they, when they splice it in, because they couldn't basically make it seamless. You know, everything's seamless. There's no like, it's not jarring. Like it doesn't have a certain gore bit that's been inserted for the unrated cut that looks more like kind of VHS quality or DVD quality or anything. Everything's just seamless all the way through on the unrated cut, all in 4K, looking, you know, absolutely smashing, just brilliant. And yeah, gone up a bit in my estimation. Might still be my least favourite. Jason X I have a good time with, and I think going forward when I do revisit Friday the 13th movies, I'll Jason Goes to Hell, I'll you know, get some enjoyment out of it because it was a fun time. But let's just have a look at this little edition. So oh yeah, I think it's 91 mins for the unrated and the theatrical cut is 88. I think I've seen the theatrical cut on television like many years ago. Obviously like English subtitle is SDH, language English. Yeah, plenty of special features. You have introductions, Faces of Death, a brand new interview with special makeup effects creator. Undercover Angel, a brand new interview with Julie Michaels. Mixing It Up, a brand new interview with composer Harry Manfredini, which was always interesting. It's interesting how we come up with the whole Friday the 13th score. If you know that, that little musical story, like, I played around and come up with like the cool like effects for the score to begin with. And yeah, you got archival interviews. You've got yeah, lots of cool things in there. Yeah, Kane Hodder plays Jason, when he's in the Jason form. Obviously has a lot of other actors, portraying Jason's spirit, but obviously in their vessel, if you will. But yeah, you get this lovely, you get your slipcover like that, slip it off, really nice slipcover. 2 discs, both 4K discs, no Blu-rays. There's an advertisement here for Demolition Man, and you get your poster, which I'll show in a sec, and a booklet, which is really nice. I assume this same treatment will be with the Jason X one. I think, yeah, from what I can remember, the Friday the 13th remake had all this as well. In this video, I'm filming bits as I watch kind of like, the movies, so like there will be some cuts and stuff. And yeah, I've actually done this part, the Jason Goes to Hell sort of review and look at the set before I've actually even done the intro to this video, so bear that in mind when you're seeing this part of the video. You get this cool looking book. It has autopsy investigation written on it, coroner's certificate of death, Jason Voorhees, really cool images. That on the back, very nice. So have a little flick through this. It's a cool image of Jason there. Very gory, this one as well. Some of the best kills in the Jason movie, I'd say. After watching some of them quite a lot of times, he's definitely got some kills that rank up there in the most goriest. Especially the tent scenes, really gory, where the girls basically has a huge blade driven through her while she's getting it on with her boyfriend. That's a really gory, nasty scene. I thought that looked great even on the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Yeah, lots of cool kills in there. There's a cool scene where where this guy, I won't spoil too much, but basically there's a guy melting, a police officer. He's just melting, like, obviously there's this, I won't spoil it, but there's been a substance obviously put on him and he's just melting, and the effects look so good. The effects I was impressed by in this film, for sure. Loads of text. There you go, there's a little flick through the book anyway. It's not a perfect bound book or anything, it's a booklet, but really nice nonetheless. Poster, I'm assuming will be double-sided, yes. So, got the original post artwork for Jason Goes to Hell, which is also really cool, with the hockey mask with the creature inside there and the flames all around it and the title, and the beautiful newly commissioned art, which also looks just amazing. 2 great artworks. You take your pick. You can either have it as it is or flip it. Just gonna pop this back. You get your 2 discs on individual discs on swing trays. There's your 4K of the theatrical, and there's your 4K of the unrated. The reversible sleeve is actually the original artwork, which I just showed on the poster. So the reversible sleeve to that is the original artwork, the theatrical poster, the main poster of it. I remember a video years ago in the 90s, a VHS was released, and then it knocked about on DVD with the same cover. I actually know it didn't. It was a VHS. It had a different cover. I just remember someone having that. I can't remember who, but yeah, after the reversible sleeves, just a theatrical artwork, which also looks great. So you can just take your pick. I might even flip that. I won't do it on camera though. So yeah, my thoughts are a really solid release for, being a Friday the 13th fan. Couldn't have asked for much more. You got plenty of special features to like dig into, get your teeth into. Transfer looks superb. Watching it in 4K and going in with a fresh mindset made me enjoy the film more. I don't normally enjoy this one when I've seen it a couple of times prior. I thought the gore was good in the unrated cut when I watched that, like I said, on the Scream Factory edition in 2020. But otherwise, I've never liked the narrative or anything. Gone up a little bit in my estimation. It's action-packed as well. Plenty of good little action sequences, lots of good violence. Yeah, it's a fun Jason movie. I'll give it a 3 out of 5, the film itself. The release is beautiful. I'll give the release solid, like, 4.5 out of 5, because I do 0.5s as well. I would have given it like a 5 out of 5 if they'd have done a slip box and it was like, you know, but it's still beautiful and it's packed and stacked, but not everything has to be in a limited edition slip box. I just would have thought they would have been cool for these Jason movies, but still, that would have earned the packaging a 5. I'll give like the presentation, you know, the new presentation from Arrow Video 4.5 out of 5, so nearly top marks. And I'll give the film as a movie, you know, just a rating, you know, like I said, 3 out of 5. So anyway, on to Jason X next, and I'll have a few thoughts on that one, and I'll show the new edition too. And now Jason X, just got done watching this one, had an hour kind of in between Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X, got this one on quite late on a Friday night, so looking a bit ropey, getting tired. Yeah, good transfer. I don't, you know, it's hard to tell sometimes what's in it, but I don't know. I think I preferred the Jason Goes to Hell transfer overall. I just thought that one looked, you know, extra like pristine and like crisp. But this, nonetheless, so really good transfer for Jason X, and it was quite a bit of an improvement from the Scream Factory Blu-ray. Yeah, it's a pretty fun one. I have a little bit of a soft spot for it. Love the whole Uber Jason thing. That's really cool. Basically, starts off on Earth. Jason's, you know, they've been trying to kill Jason, kill him off. Nothing works. He ends up in space. He's been frozen. So is this lady who he was after. This woman, she's also been frozen. They are brought back to life and reanimated, unfrozen. And then Jason just wreaks havoc on this spacecraft, just going crazy. You know, some good kills in there. My favourite kill of the film is actually the frozen face kill in the laboratory, where the woman, unsuspecting victim, has reanimated Jason. She doesn't know like how deadly he actually is. He rises again, freezes her face in some futuristic technology. You know, freezes her face in this face freezer. Takes it out, she's all frozen, and then he just smashes it on the desk on the side. He just shatters her face, and it looks so good, and it looked really good in 4K as well. Yeah, and then of course later in the film, Evil gets an upgrade. I think that's the tagline from it, maybe. Yeah, Jason gets a big upgrade with the upgrading futuristic technology machine. And he becomes Uber Jason, which I love, and that's the Uber Jason, that like depiction there. But yeah, fun movie, like really good one. If you're into Friday the 13th, now it's a good one in a fun sense, but yeah, it's a pretty cheesy bad movie. Like overall, you know, like the acting's kind of questionable, although I find it fun. But I like a lot of these kind of like, you know, badder, like so bad it's good kind of movies, like badder sort of movies. It's definitely not one of the top entries into the franchise as a whole, but it's rather fun. In a fun sense, it's got bags of it. In a kind of filmmaking sense, it's not the best film in the world. If you're not a fan of Friday the 13th, you're possibly not going to enjoy it. If you're a fan of Jason Voorhees and the lore and Friday the 13th, you'll enjoy this canon. Jason X, it's a fun one from 2001, stacked edition, loads of special features, 4K presentation, Dolby Vision HDR10 compatible, loads of featurettes, Outer Space, the making of Jason X, an archival documentary on the making of the film, featuring interviews. In Space, No One Can Hear You Scream, that's another tagline from it. An archival interview with various people. Jason rebooted, Sean S. Cunningham on Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. That'll be an interesting one to have a look at. Yeah, loads of special features. That's the selection there with your sort of specs at the top bit. This one's from 2001, if memory serves me correct. 2002. So I was a year off. This is actually from 2002. But yeah, another lovely edition, like so. You there's the Amory case. One disc. It's not got two cuts like Jason Goes to Hell, just the one cut of Jason X, which is 91 minutes long, approximately. Open it up, you got your disc, nice there, and your reversible art will be what will be on the other side of the double-sided poster, which you also get in the limited edition. Advertisement there for the last stop in Yuma County, Arrow video advertisement. Then you have your booklet, which is really futuristic and cool. Love the blues and the purples with the black kind of starlit backdrop. That looks really nice. And then on the back you have that. Flicking through, we'll just do a little bit of a flick through. You know, lots of photographs. There's the droid. The yeah, Jason. Lots of write-ups. This has been an interesting read. I'm looking forward to having a look through this booklet. This is the first time I'm looking at it because I sometimes get them out as a companion piece when I actually watch the editions, but I didn't for this one. Pretty thick for a booklet. There's quite a lot of pages. There you go. 40 pages. Around 40 pages for the booklet. Very nice indeed. Now the poster will feature the cool new artwork and the original. So it has a reversible sleeve. On the poster, which is double-sided, it will have the original theatrical artwork, which will also be on the sleeve, which is that. I remember this poster from the DVD days. You know, when it came out in 2002, I was like a young person, young teenager. I'd assume, yeah, very young teenager probably. And yeah, I remember this being out. I remember watching it on Sky TV. Thought it was pretty cool back then. I don't think I'd even seen the other entries in the franchise. Well, I'd seen the first one and maybe part 2, 3. I'd not seen past 3, I don't think. And then I sort of saw Jason X. So this was probably the 4th Friday the 13th movie I ever watched. Anyway, you turn it round, you get the lovely newly commissioned art, which just looks fantastic. Not holding that the best I can, but I'll try like that, like so. Yeah, really nice. They are quite thin posters, like, don't get me wrong, they're more kind of like glossy paper. They're not the thickest of posters, but they're nice, and the artwork looks really cool on them, and especially newly commissioned and the original. And then the reversible sleeve will have that original Jason X artwork, you know, on the reversible sleeve from that. So yeah, I had a fun time with it. I'll give it film-wise, as a film, it's a bad film, but it's a fun Friday the 13th movie. It's the 10th installment, with it being Jason 10, Jason X. I'd give it a 3 out of 5. I think that's what I normally give it. You know, like, it's fun. Nothing spectacular narratively. Set in space. It's just Jason unleashing hell in space, with a whole bunch of new victims to the slaughter. But some good, alright characters in there. You know, like, some cool characters in there as well. Like, a couple of people are pretty good. Like, quite interesting. And like, yeah, it's only 90 minutes long. It doesn't overstay its welcome. It's a good one. So like I say, film 3 out of 5. The edition, same as Jason Goes to Hell, I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. So yeah, good marks. 2 fantastic editions. Jason X, Jason Goes to Hell. Really enjoyed revisiting these movies, especially on 4K. Really happy to have them. Hopefully anyone who's waiting for theirs will get a hold of them. Yeah, that'd be good to see. Yeah, are you picking these up? Are you interested in them? I had a blast revisiting them, and I think they're great additions from Arrow. Yeah, really top stuff. Like, no complaints from me as a Jason fan. I enjoyed them, and yeah, I'm happy to put them in my collection. Obviously going to keep the big set, Blu-ray set as well, but yeah, cool stuff. All right, thanks, I'll see you on the next video.